right, for our audiences right now, behind me, as you can see, the buildings that Akash was talking about, and what's particularly interesting is that over the last few days, you've had 9,000 holes that have been drilled in the bottom and carefully filled with thousands of kgs of explosives. As we've already told you, there are two companies that are managing all of these efforts, one from South Africa and the other from right here in Mumbai. Now, my other colleague Yash is present. Yash has, over the last few hours and over the last week, been speaking repeatedly to residents on the ground in the areas around the towers about what this big day means for them. Yash, I want to come over and ask you, for residents who've lived here, these buildings have caused problems over the last few years. This isn't just a question of today. Could you walk our audiences through the kind of problems that residents have said they faced?
Well, Toya, they have called these particular towers the towers of corruption. And problems when we spoke to the residents of these particular society, which are actually adjacent to these twin towers, they said that because the towers were constructed in a very close proximity to their buildings, to their residents, to their homes, they had to face several issues, including there was no sunlight which was present over there. They have to go to the nearby areas to just get some sunlight. The wind was blocked by those gigantic towers which were built illegally. Second of them, they also said that those particular towers were built in such a way that they were actually quite sure it could cause some sort of damage in case any untoward situation happens over there if the construction couldn't be that sturdy. And on the second hand, what they are saying, this is the legal battle which they took almost a decade back, and now they have won this legal battle in terms of seeing those towers coming down today at 2:30 p.m., which is now less than 4 hours. Since morning, since yesterday, since many days, we've been talking to the residents of both the societies, which is Supertech Emerald Court, which is on one side, and the other society, which is the ATS Green Village, which is on the other side. People from both the societies still have some reservations in their mind, though they say they are happy with the arrangement, but still, here we are talking about their homes. Here we are talking about the place where they have invested, where they're living, where they will be living. So they have some reservations in their mind. What they're also worried about is the aftermath of the implosion, because some of the towers which are present over here are at a very close proximity, which is approximately 9 meters from the area, from the towers which will be imploded today at 2:30 p.m. What they're saying, the authorities have taken the due diligence, they have done their part, and they have also said on personal level they have kept their belongings in a very safe place. They don't want any sort of disruption. They don't want any sort of damage to their personal properties. So there are two views coming in. First is that they are happy that those towers of corruption, or what they've been calling them, are being taken down today. And the second is as the clock is ticking, as we get nearer to the moment when those buttons will be pressed and those two towers will be taken down, will be moved down, they are getting a little nervous. They are thinking what will happen, though they've been saying that they are actually in tandem with the authorities. They have faith in authorities that no untoward situation will arise, and their homes, the places where they live, will be safe and no damage will be done. But to prevent
Yash, stay with us, please. I want to give our audiences a little bit more background context now. Both of my colleagues have just told you about the legal proceedings that have led to today all the way up in the Supreme Court. Next, we want to show you what the lawyers who fought this case over the last year, what they've had to say. Take a look.
An order like this which has been passed, it is also basically a message to all the builders and the authority. It will act as a deterrent against other builders and Noida authority, so that such orders may not be allowed to pass. On one hand, they're extremely happy that they were able to successfully get the towers demolished, but on the other hand, they are getting their money back, but it is coming at a slower pace because there are so many buyers and the money, in the kitty is a lot less, so it's going to be distributed in a pro rata manner. It will take time, but it will come to them for sure.
पहले एक तो हम इसका पहले चेक करेंगे, डिमोशन होने से पहले ये टूटेगा, उससे पहले का पोल्यूशन चेक होगा, तब टूटेगा तब का होगा, और उसके बाद का कितना पोल्यूशन पहले था, कितना जब टूटा तब हुआ, उसके बाद कितना हुआ। पोल्यूशन का असर पड़ेगा, कोई भी टूटेगा तो डस्ट उड़ेगी बहुत ज्यादा जी, इसीलिए जगह को खाली करा गया है। 3 किलोमीटर का लगभग एरिया, सबसे ज्यादा धूल 3 किलोमीटर के एरिया का अनुमान है, इतने में ज्यादा रहेगी।
The super fascinating thing about this entire demolition process is that while the engineering aspects are going on, you also have IIT Roorkee that's present. They've put black boxes into both of the buildings that are going to be demolished today, and those black boxes are going to be measuring a number of things. For example, the velocity. There's a lot of data that scientists are hoping to collect from this process today at 2:30. We'll talk more about that in a little while. We have a lot of experts joining us in a little while on the show. But first, one more perspective. My colleague Siddhant is here to give you more context on the story. Siddhant, one of the points that you've been talking a lot about is about how today is trying to be used as an example for builders across Noida and across the country. Because corruption when it comes to buildings seems to be quite a common theme. Could you tell our audiences more, please?
That's right, Toya. So, in fact, in the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections, and in fact, in the run-up to the Vidhan Sabha elections of Uttar Pradesh, whenever we used to come to Gautam Buddha Nagar and speak to the residents here, and in fact, speak to the people, those who live in buildings, all the time they used to complain about the builders. Many of these buildings is still deprived of the occupation certificates. In many of the sites, there is no proper water supply, proper gas supply. So these are some basic problems. Even if the people have got the flats after 8 years, 9 years of delay, they don't have OCs, they don't have the water NOC. So all those certificates are still pending. Why this has happened? This has happened because the last dispensation in the authority, or in fact the previous governments were always ignorant about the problems of Noida. And in fact the builder lobby used to operate openly, not just in Noida, in fact the entire NCR. We talk about the areas like Jewar, Greater Noida extension, in all these areas. So there was a long fight which was going on. This is just a beginning. I mean, when you speak to experts, they say that this is just a beginning. After 9 years of legal battle, continuously pursuing one case, the result is before everyone. The building is finally going to get demolished. So there are multiple fights that are currently going on in Noida and Gautam Buddha Nagar area, and all those RWAs, they all want justice from the courts, from the netas, from the authority. So this is going to be a very symbolic execution, and also it will send out a very strong message that look, Supertech used to be one powerful builders of Gautam Buddha Nagar. Their tallest structure is getting demolished. So even tomorrow some other builder will try to violate the laid norms, or think that fine, we'll pay some bribe to authority official and get the work done. This is not going to be done. This is not going to work, at least in Gautam Buddha Nagar, after this demolition. So this will act like a deterrent for all those corrupt builders and the lobby, and also a message will go that the real power is in the hands of the people of Gautam Buddha Nagar, the residents of Gautam Buddha Nagar, not the builders, those who have been running the show, with the help of their money and the connection. So again, a deterrent, an example will be set after the demolition. And this is the reason that this demolition is very important, because it is going to send out a strong message to the corrupt and the powerful builders of NCR. Back to you.